All right, guys, we are live. It is Wednesday. Wednesday, May 5th. I've got a lot to share with you guys today. I hope you guys are doing well. According to Fox 5 Atlanta News, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis is getting sued. You heard that right, guys. So, State Representative Mesha Mainor is suing Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis and her office for one, keeping inmates who have not been indicted in the Fulton County Jail for too long, and two, Willis getting overly involved in Mainor's stalking case. Now, and this stalking case was against an ex. Now, according to Mainor, Fani Willis never fought for her as a victim and Fulton County resident. Can you believe this? Fani Willis is supposed to be for the Fulton County residents. So why didn't Fani Willis fight for her? Now, she was always in the pocket of Fulton County Commissioner Marvin Arrington, and even retaliated against Mainor after she contacted the Department of Justice Office of Violence against women, at least according to the allegations here. And take a listen to what they're saying right now.
I'm Representative Mesha Mainor from District 56. The need for the Prosecuting Attorney's Qualifications Commission is evident due to the actions of the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. My lawsuit against Fani Willis, Marvin Arrington, and the Fulton County Ethics Board stems from this necessity. Stalking, often misunderstood, involves repeated, unwanted behavior causing fear or distress. It's a serious issue affecting millions annually, with most victims knowing they're stalkers. The Netflix documentary, Can I Tell You a Secret?, sheds light on this issue. Stalking behaviors include harassment, intimidation, and even violence. Despite its prevalence, misconceptions persist, hindering support for victims. Stalkers exploit various tactics, from relentless calls to spreading rumors. They often target former partners and engage in something called proxy stalking, which involves third parties. Victims endure emotional trauma, and the risk of violence is significant, especially with intimate partner stalkers. The failure to address stalking perpetuates the cycle of abuse, highlighting the importance of legal measures like the Prosecuting Attorney's Qualification Commission, or PAC.
Oh, and it goes way deeper than this, guys. We're just tip of the iceberg. Now, before we really get into this, guys, all I ask is that you guys take 1 second, hit the like button for the video. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are always amazing. I always want to thank you guys so much for sharing these videos on Facebook and Twitter. I totally do appreciate you guys. Now, Mainor said that during jail calls, Commissioner Arrington and her stalker plotted various actions, including manipulating judges, leveraging political influence, and this is basically the same thing that people are accusing Fani Willis of doing in the Georgia election interference case. Now, Mainor's stalker, Corwin Monson, was even released from prison in November of 2021 and allegedly began stalking Mainor again. Now, if this turns out to be true, Mainor may be the latest victim of the gross negligence of DA Fani Willis's office, as the Fani seems to be hell-bent on going after former President Donald Trump at the expense of the county that she's supposed to be serving. Then you got Eric Trump. So Eric Trump, he's the son of the former president and the vice president of the Trump organization. He insisted that the progressive district attorney, along with the Biden administration, they're now using lawfare against the former president to delegitimize his candidacy. Is this not election interference? Please, somebody, let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking about all this. This is a wild 2024, isn't it? So anyway, Eric Trump's exact words were, obviously Alvin Bragg is a Soros-paid DA, no different than Fani Willis. Eric Trump says that they want to torture his father, but no one's believing it. Meanwhile, speaking on, and before I even go any further, do you guys believe Eric Trump, Donald Trump's son, that they're trying to torture Donald Trump and delegitimize his presidency? If you believe so, please let me know in the chat. Now, while speaking on the show, he discussed the alleged two-tiered system of justice, which is perpetuated by his father's political rivals, as well as the crumbling state of America under not only the Biden administration, but also on a city level under the influence of those like Alvin Bragg. So you can kind of see the local impact there that these cases are making on communities where these Trump cases are happening. Definitely gives you some perspective here, guys. But the good news for Trump supporters, the Supreme Court decision on whether Donald Trump is immune from prosecution for actions that he took while being president, they could be the difference maker, as it could sink or even delay some of the criminal charges. Patricia Johnson, I just want to thank you so much for joining the channel and becoming a member. I really do appreciate you. God bless you. Glad to have another member. And for anyone else who wants to become a member of the channel to support the channel, there's a join button down below. We appreciate all of our members here, but thank you so much. All right, so so even if the court rejects Donald Trump's broad immunity argument, its decision could further delay the criminal cases, which are already unlikely to go to trial until after Trump versus Biden's rematch in November. Now, if Trump wins the election, he could order the Justice Department to pretty much just kind of like drop the 2 federal cases that are against him, and also pressure Georgia officials to do the exact same thing. So yeah, it really does look like things are coming up for Donald Trump, and we got some front row seats for you guys. So definitely stay tuned. But first, let me give you some details on this whole Georgia Representative Mesha Mainor's lawsuit against Fani Willis. Take a listen.
Now, where State Representative Mesha Mainor is announcing a lawsuit against Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis.
11 Alive's Ariana Manish joining us live from the Capitol. Ariana, tell us why this lawsuit is being filed.
Well, Aisha, this press conference, it just wrapped up. Representative Mesha Mainor, she is suing DA Fani Willis, Fulton County Commissioner Marvin Arrington, as well as the Fulton County Board of Ethics. Now, the representative, she's claiming that she's a victim of a years-long criminal stalking case. She's alleging that DA Fani Willis failed to prosecute properly her alleged stalker. Now, she's claiming the stalker was a former campaign volunteer. Now, she says that the DA allowed this former stalker, this alleged stalker, to be released on bond for non-bondable crimes and didn't contact witnesses that she provided. She wanted the DA to properly investigate this case, and she says that the DA failed to do so. She also claims that Marvin Arrington mishandled the prosecution of this case, as well as he was representing the alleged stalker. She was also joined by victims that one father says that his son had been held in Fulton County Jail for over 90 days, and she's saying that these people, they're all victims. They share the same stories of mishandling by the DA's office. Take a listen.
Accountability is paramount, especially with the Fulton County DA failing to assist citizens affected by domestic violence, stalking, or unjust incarceration. The connection is victims. This today is about victims. And DA Fani Willis is the chief court officer from the state in Fulton County. She directly impacts what is happening in the jail.
Wow. Wow. So I just want to shed a little bit more light on this situation here, because what you have here is you have people who are literally, they just confirmed DA Fani Willis is basically controlling this whole jail. You have people who have been maybe pulled over for, I don't know, a suspended license, maybe a taillight, you get arrested, or I don't know, whatever the case may be. Some people have been locked up for not taking a DUI test, whatever the case is, right? You have people who are not innocent. You have people who are not necessarily guilty. You have people who have not been tried sitting in jail for like 90 days or more. I think the longest person has actually sat in jail for like 2 years just to sit in front of a judge. And this is just completely, number one, it's illegal and it's inhumane. Can you imagine a loved one? Like, I don't know how many of you guys have kids, and maybe your kid drove too fast or something like that, got pulled over, got arrested, and they're just going to sit in jail for 2 years. because the DA didn't get around to, doing their job. Like, this is unbelievable, guys. But the truth is finally starting to come out, and I'm just hearing about this. All I'm hearing about this, from people is that it's finally good that some of this information is coming out. It's good that they're finally. Some people are saying that it's good that they're finally suing Fani Willis and other officials in Fulton County. Residents are saying that this is because Fani just keeps on wasting the DA time and money on this bogus Trump trial. What do you guys think about that? Is this case just completely bogus? Like, what is the point here? Now, according to State Representative Mesha Mainor, it's been over 6 years, and she's been pretty much silent about this. During this whole 6 years of silence, she tried to resolve these issues behind the scenes and get justice for herself, but instead, since that hasn't worked, she stood inside the Georgia State Capitol, which is where you see her standing right now, and she announced her lawsuit against Fani Willis, the Fulton County Commissioner, Marvin Arrington, and the Fulton County Ethics Board. So all those bodies are under this lawsuit. Now, two issues with the Fulton County DA. So first, she's been keeping inmates who have not been indicted, or at least she's allegedly been keeping inmates who have not been indicted in the Fulton County Jail for too long. Mainor said that the Georgia General Assembly set clear guidelines for DA Fani Willis, requiring her to indict individuals in custody within 90 days, which is already a long time, especially if you're innocent. And those arrested without bond must have their case presented to the grand jury within the same time frame. Now, Representative Mainor, who you're looking at right now, she also has an issue with Fani Willis getting involved with Mainor's stalking case against an ex. When Arrington started representing Mainor's alleged stalker in a criminal case, Mainor said that Arrington and Willis had inappropriate conversations about it. Really? Where have we heard this before? Fani Willis having inappropriate conversations with, So when asked about how she thinks about this and how this will affect former President Donald Trump's case here in Georgia, Mainor said Donald Trump's case doesn't matter to her. Now, I got something that I'm going to share with you guys about Mainor, who you may not know, okay? Well, I'll just go ahead and spill the beans right now. Did you guys know that Mainor used to be a Democrat, but she got tired of the bull and decided to become a Republican? More on that a little bit later in this video, but now Mainor's own story is pretty interesting, as it kind of shows the same kind of journey that many Donald Trump supporters have been going through. Mainor, who in 2020 was elected by a large margin, she just blew the whole thing out the water. She won by a landslide. She was elected by a large margin by constituents in House District 56 in the Democratic stronghold of Atlanta. Now get this, guys. She made headlines last July when she switched parties and officially became a Republican, saying at the time that she was no longer morally comfortable complying with the Democrats' left-wing radicalism, lawlessness, and putting the interest of illegal aliens over the interest of Americans. Rather interesting here. Big, huge shout out to the Jughead for the massive $5, actually it's more than $5, it's €5, super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate the support. The Jughead says, big up to you, Ron. Love and respect from your Nigerian brother over here in the UK. Trump 2024. Appreciate you, my friend. Good looking out. So Mainor's lawsuit filed April 2nd in Fulton County Superior Court states that in January 2019, she hired a man named Corwin Monson as a campaign volunteer. So he assumed or assured Mainor that he could help her get elected. Though 1 month later, she was forced to terminate him after she witnessed his unruly and belligerent behavior. It allegedly led to repeated displays of stalking in a variety of forms, including Monson showing up uninvited to campaign or church events, sitting outside of her home, calling her from different phone numbers and leaving voicemails, and even coming to her home to propose to her in front of her minor children. Now, these are all allegations, of course, but these are being brought up in the lawsuit. And according to the lawsuit, Monson was in love with Mainor, despite a romantic relationship having never taken place. Really, really weird, right? Anyway, so the suit also alleges that Arrington also defended Monsoon in a legal capacity, used his influence to circumvent the office policies of the district attorney's office, such by copying the district attorney on emails, directly negotiating plea deals and demanding meetings. It's even been mentioned how Arrington told Willis that B is crazy. How many of y'all think that B is crazy? Anyway, so you see, after Fani Willis was sworn in January 2021, she became responsible for the Monson case. She reportedly dismissed one of the aggravated stalking cases, and on the other charge, she offered a plea of 3 years with one served in prison, as the rest was in probation. Now, Mainor said that she was never informed of the plea deal and claimed a violation of the Georgia Crime Victims Bill of Rights. Now, the lawsuit said Mainor has been forced to advocate for herself and her own safety as a woman. Like, this is just crazy, right? You would think that one woman would understand the plight and the difficulty that another woman will be going through, but not here, right? So the lawsuit even said that Mainor has been forced to advocate for herself and her safety, although that is the district attorney's role. We're talking about District Attorney Fani Willis's role. You would think Fani would be looking out for her people, right? Not so much. And now the state representative is seeking compensatory and consequential damages, including damages for emotional distress, humiliation, loss of enjoyment of life, and other pain and suffering. So, I mean, like, all sorts of things are coming out about Fani Willis now, isn't it? And like my uncle said, if you're going to go after a guy as popular and resourceful as Donald Trump, you might want to make sure your own hands are clean, right? Because it definitely feels like Fani's walls are crumbling right about now. Now, as uncomfortable as it makes me feel talking about Fani Willis's walls, I just want to go ahead and take a second and thank you guys for hitting the like button for these videos. I really, really do appreciate you guys. I want to thank you, as always, for sharing these videos on Facebook and Twitter. You guys are amazing. I really, really do appreciate that, guys. I totally appreciate you. And I want to thank all you guys for hitting the subscribe button. Thank you for, hitting that notification bell so you know when we go live. Anyway, so now this manipulation of the legal system is exactly what Trump has been saying that he's been facing. And anybody who hasn't believed Trump and the crap he's been going through, you're seeing it right in front of your eyes, guys. Are you guys seeing it yet? And so as his son and vice president of the Trump organization, Eric Trump, said, they want to torture his father, but nobody's believing it. And in the same interview, Donald Trump's son discussed what he called the two-tiered system of justice, which is it has perpetuated his father's, is perpetuated by his father's political rivals, as well as the crumbling state of America under not only the Biden administration, but also on a city level under the influence of people like DA Alvin Bragg. So he also went on to mention how New York is falling. So you got homelessness through the roof. You got women being pushed in front of trains. You got cops that are being assassinated in their squad cars. You got little kids that are being shot in Times Square, and they're going after a guy for $130,000 payment. So think about this. They're going after Donald Trump for $130,000 payment, but every day they end up closing the streets around the court in Manhattan for Donald Trump's hush money trial, and it costs them 20 times the amount that they're trying to come after that they're complaining about Donald Trump for. It cost them 20 times his $130,000 payment that they got a problem with, right? And every time they shut down FDR Drive, it costs 50 times that. So, I mean, I think he makes a very good point here. Like, this is very clear that this is personal. This is clear it's personal, and it doesn't even make mathematical sense for New York to do this. So you have to ask yourself, what's the real reason, right? Now, he compared Biden's popularity with his father's. He said that, with all that power of Air Force One and with all the power of the executive branch, Biden can't have anybody show up. Meanwhile, his father's drawing this massive crowd, actually massive crowds, plural. He's fundraising the likes of which no one has ever seen before for the presidency. Bottom line, Eric Trump says people want America back. If you guys want America back, type in "get America back" in the comments. So people want to be prideful in this country again. People want a cheerleader for this nation. So anyway, so as for Fani Willis though, people are calling her all sorts of things like nasty crook for one. They are saying that the Fulton County DA should be prosecuted for money laundering, perjury, misuse of state resources, and anything else lawyers can come up with. But they're already prepping for when she loses her position. Some people want to file a civil lawsuit against her, so that way she has to use her own money. Kind of like what President Trump's having to do right now. But hey, watch out, guys, because the Supreme Court decision is due any day now. And I see a lot of you guys type in "get America back," "get America back." Nelson Gonzalo, Walter DeBoe says "get America back." Devra, okay. And so the Supreme Court decision is due any day now, and their decision could very well sink or even delay some of the criminal cases against Donald Trump, including the Georgia case. So even if the court doesn't go through with Donald Trump's claim of broad immunity, its ruling could still slow down the criminal cases that are pending against him, which probably won't even reach the trial before the upcoming Trump versus Biden election rematch in November. And so now that's something to look forward to, I think, because should Donald Trump secure a victory and actually return to the White House, we could potentially see he could potentially instruct the Justice Department to dismiss all of the federal cases that are against him, and also kind of lean on the officials in Georgia to follow suit. By then, probably, just the ongoing hush money trial in New York would stay on track, mainly just because the accusations stemmed from a time before Trump was president. But now, that pretty much wraps up some of the exploration of the intertwining legal dramas involving Fani Willis and the broader implications on the political landscape. But as you guys could see, this is very clear that these cases, they're not just about the individuals involved. They ripple across our communities and, just all across our country. So, this is a massive issue, guys. This is massive, and we've never seen this level of corruption in the history of America, at least not on display to this level here. But what do you guys think? Hit me up in the comments. I just want to see what you guys are saying in the comment section right now. Chad Miller says he's fed up with criminal Democrats and rhinos, lawlessness, and two-tier justice system. Pissed off Canuck says the gag order is unconstitutional. How many of you guys believe that the gag order on Trump is unconstitutional? How do you do that? How do you place a gag order on a president in the middle of a freaking campaign? Hey, don't talk during your campaign against your political rival. Okay, sure, Bob. Unbelievable. Let's see here, guys. Anyway, I just want to thank y'all for rocking with me today. Thank you for hanging out today. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for sharing these videos on Facebook and Twitter. I totally appreciate the support, you guys. You are absolutely amazing. You always are. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. You guys take care and be safe.